Hello, people. It's Gino here from realeverydayenglish.com. Welcome back to another video here on Rodrigo's English Learning channel. Rodrigo has invited me back on the channel, but the difference is that this time it's going to be Rodrigo who is in the hot seat. He's the one who's going to be answering questions set by me, and I have a list of 7 questions that we're going to ask our friend Rodrigo, and he's going to give his best answers here for the channel. So, Rodrigo, how are you, man?
I'm well. I'm very well. What about you?
I'm good. Sunday here. It's a bit later here than what it is there for you. I got up this morning 6 a.m. Went out for a run. I've been back at home for a little while now. I've actually just finished recording some content that I'm going to edit and upload to my channel later on. But first, we need to get this interview of yours smashed out of the way. So before we get into the actual interview, it's not really an interview, it's just a chat, but just questions about you. What is the current situation over there in Brazil, in your town particularly, with the coronavirus? What's going on?
Yeah, in my town, we are in lockdown because the cases number have been really high lately.
Okay.
And in São Paulo state and Rio state, they are almost in red again as well. But vaccination is starting next week for elderly people, and then we can start seeing light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, I think the situation is the same in much of the world at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Here in the UK, we are in another national lockdown. This is the 3rd national lockdown that we've been in since March of last year.
Mm-hmm.
We have been out of lockdown a couple of times, but then the government introduced like a tier system. So if you're in tier 1, you're very low risk, the pubs can be open, etc. We were in the very highest tier anyway. We were in tier 4, which means that all the pubs are shut, all the gyms are shut and things like that. But just recently, the beginning of the year, the Prime Minister came out and just said, listen, we're going into another national lockdown. The schools are closing again. So I'm homeschooling the children at the moment, me and their mother between us. We're homeschooling them at the moment. But as you said, the vaccinations are rolling out. And hopefully, once enough people, once enough of the at-risk people have had this vaccination, then we can return to some kind of normality in our lives. Because I don't know about you, but my daily routine has just completely fell through due to the gyms being closed. I'm not working, I'm on furlough. It's hard to adapt when you're used to being so busy. Mm-hmm. It's hard to adapt.
I hope so as well. It's been 10 months. I am inside my house working insanely with students and the channel, and I hope it ends soon because I am really tired as well.
Yeah, I can imagine. I know from our conversations how hard you've been working. Mm-hmm. So without any further ado, let's dive into some of these questions.
Go ahead.
And you can answer them. So the first one, Rod, is what does your daily routine look like? Give us the whole in-depth look at what a typical working day looks like for you.
Well, I wake up very early because my baby boy wakes up very early, so 6 in the morning. And then I go to the computer to check everything, to see what I'm posting that day. Then I have breakfast. At 8:30, I get everything set up to start teaching. I teach from 9 to 11, and then I stop for lunch. I start back at 1 p.m. and then I finish teaching at 9 p.m. every day.
It's a long day.
A long day.
That is a long day.
A lot of time sitting.
Okay. Are all your students like one-on-one students, or are they class students as well? Or?
I have class students and one-on-one.
Wow. So then once you finish working at 9 p.m., what does the day look like then? Do you get a chance to do some things to relax or spend time with your wife?
I try to to talk with my wife, to watch a little bit of television, but the children come right up because they know that I finished work, and everybody stays together, but my brain only turns off, if you know what I mean, around
Yeah.
10:30, 11 at night, and start relaxing
Wow.
to sleep.
Is
Yeah.
there, have you got any series that you're watching at the moment? Are you watching any series?
Yes, I just watched Bridgeton. I think it's a British series.
All
It's
right,
very
okay.
famous on Netflix, and I watched it with Talita. I love series. I literally zone out when I am watching.
Right, yeah, okay. There's a series on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It's based here in Manchester. It's called Shameless UK,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the Americans have done a version of Wells as well since we did our version, but it's a comedy and it's based on
Mm-hmm.
it's set in a council estate here in Manchester. It's really funny. It will give you a kind of it'll give you a kind of look into what life on a Manchester council estate is like.
I'll put on my list for sure to watch.
Yeah, it's very, very, very funny. So thanks for sharing your daily routine with us. It's a
Of
bit,
course, when we are not in lockdown, we also once a month go to a near city to a shopping mall to take the children to have some fun, to spend the day together. But now that everything is closed down, we don't have the chance.
yeah, I completely, I can completely relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that we like to do is we go roller skating. I take the children roller skating quite regular,
Mm-hmm.
but the roller rink, which is the place where you go to roller skate, is closed. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
all of the things that you do for fun are just off the menu for the
Yes,
foreseeable future.
yes, yes, totally.
Okay, okay. Question number two.
Okay.
Uh, this one's more like a spiritual question than anything
Mhm.
else.
No problem.
Uh, do you believe in an afterlife? And if so, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I really do believe in afterlife because there are some things that happen to me, and I think to some other people as well. I build strong connections with people that have no explanation. And when you talk about afterlife, I was very close to my grandmother, as you could see on one of my last videos. I think that we need to have one last talk, and I really believe we're gonna still meet so I can tell her my proper goodbyes because
Hmm.
she had a stroke, and when she passed away, I didn't have the chance to say how much I loved her and how much I was thankful for having the chance to live with her for 33 years because she passed away, she was 93. There are a lot of signs that I received from above and people that come into my life. You are one of them who bring me a lot of positivity and a lot of enjoyment to go on, to believe in humanity. All that I've been receiving with the channel and the people who watch me, it's so amazing. But people come into my life in a way, there's literally no explanation. I feel really welcomed, very comfortable around those people, you know. That's why I believe in this so much.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who believe in an afterlife, it's based on the same kind of things,
Mm-hmm.
spiritual experiences. They've had contact from people who have passed,
Mm-hmm.
or they feel like they've had signs from people who have
Mm-hmm.
passed. And I personally, I think it's something that you feel in your heart, that you've had these experiences and you know that that you believe that this is. And plus I think it's tangible hope, isn't it? It's tangible hope for humanity, you know.
Yes.
um so for the same reasons, I have similar beliefs to you in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
Question number three
Mm-hmm.
is, now this question, I'd already written the questions yesterday, and then I heard, I saw your interview with Drew, yesterday, I think it was. And Drew asked you this question, but it wasn't, you did answer it, but you didn't give the full story, okay? So we want the full shebang today, Rod.
Okay.
And it is, how did you meet your wife? And give us the story of how that progressed.
Wow, it's a long story. I met my wife, it was 2003. We met, I don't know if you had that in the UK, but I think so. Or maybe you were too young to use it, but it was a instant messenger called ICQ. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't
Uh,
remember that, no.
and we would connect computers just with numbers. You would have your number, and if you find someone else, you give your number and you start chatting. It was a kind of WhatsApp or iMessage or whatever, but in the old days. And then
Yeah.
Talit and I started talking because we hadn't met each other before. I said, "Would you like to go on a date with me?" She said, "Sure." And then we went to a snack bar. It was Easter holidays in Brazil. We went and started talking, and then by the end of the date, we kissed for the first time. And we are together ever since, 2 children later. We are together and working together and fighting together and overcoming things together. She was and she still is a very strong person. So she has a side that completes my weaker side, let's say so, because one completes the other, because she's very down to earth as I am. And she was a kind of girl that liked things very real. And one day she posted something. We were already married. She said, "Everybody waits for their prince on a white horse. Mine came in a wheelchair." She found this meme and she posted it, and it was very touching. I want to let everybody know that I don't use a wheelchair every day. I just use a wheelchair to travel. I told you that off camera before. She's a very
Yeah,
strong woman. She's an excellent mother, so I can complain.
that's great, Rod, that you've got such a loving, caring woman in your life,
Yeah,
who complement, and you complement each other's lives.
yeah.
I think that's one of the an intimate relationship like that is one of the fundamentals for human well-being, is what I'm trying to say.
Just to give you more details, as you like a lot of detail, as you want a lot of details, we got married in 2005.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
Congratulations, Rod.
Thank
And
you.
it's a great story. I'm glad that you've got such
Thank you.
a strong woman there in your life.
She is.
Okay, let's move on. Number 4. Number 4 is a hard question, I think. What career mistake up to date has given you your biggest lesson? So something that you've looked back on and thought, there was a lesson in that for me.
I am very anxious. You might have noticed that, but I was pretty much more anxious before. Now I am thinking for 20 seconds before giving an answer or reacting. But when you are young, you learn a lot of lessons. And I have always been the kind of person who is very calm and waits to see all the sides of the situation. Sometimes I don't say what I really feel. I try to let the thing go and wait for the dust to settle, and then I say what I feel. But I'm much less reactive than I was before. Because of my anxiety, I was very worried about things. I wanted things to go right. But now that I got older, I'm almost 43. I'm going to be 43 in April. You learn with children and with a lot of things around you that you have to be more patient. And I think it was one of the biggest lessons for me.
It sounds like a very good lesson as well. I mean, you'll know as well as I do that I think there are some things that we can only learn through difficult times, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you had a completely problem-free life, then you probably wouldn't learn that much.
The most important word for me is respect. If I respect you, the only thing that I wait from you is respect back. RESPECT for everybody.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Rod. I agree. I think you have to show respect in order to to get it back.
Mm-hmm.
As you've just said previously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on to another one. Question number 5 is another spiritual question.
Of course.
I think it's got 2 parts to it. Okay, I think I know the answer to the first one, but I don't know the answer to the second one. So the question is do you believe in ghosts, and are there any famous ghost stories from your town where you live that you can share with us?
Actually, I am fearful of ghosts. I am afraid of ghosts. If I see one, I die instantly, you know. So, but about ghost stories in my town, there was story while we were in school that was called The Girl from the Bathroom. Everybody would say there's a main square because the town is very small. There was this story that if you would go to the square bathroom, the girl from the bathroom would get you. And so no teenager or no small child would go there because they were afraid. It's silly, but it was fun. Mostly at night, nobody would go even to number 1 because they were afraid of the girl from the bathroom.
Wow, that's what happens all sometimes, isn't it? You know,
Yeah,
once these stories gain traction and
yeah.
everybody knows about them, then
Yeah.
people are scared to go to certain places or do certain things.
That's as far as I can remember.
Yeah, very interesting, Rod. Thanks for sharing that. Question number 6 is another difficult one, I think, and it is: what is the biggest risk you have ever taken?
When I was 12 and 13, I had to have my feet reconstructed. I had to go through 2 orthopedic surgeries, as I told before. And for me, that was really scary because I thought that I would die anyway because I was afraid of the anesthetics. I was a child. As we say, I had to bite the bullet and face it. The recovery was very painful, but I could go through, and I think it was the hardest thing. And also, my first tattoo. I thought it would hurt, but it didn't, and now I have 5.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's scary for a child to go
Yeah.
through that.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, last question, Rodrigo. And then we've got the rapid round. I
Yes.
told you about the rapid round just today, yeah?
Yes.
So we've got number 7.
Mhm.
This is probably a more easy question for you because this will be second nature. But
Mhm.
what piece of practical advice would you give to someone who is just starting to learn English?
I had a definition of learning English some months ago from somebody who's very, very, very smart, intelligent, and kind. To learn English, you need 2 things: focusing yourself, and number 2 is the word consistency. Being consistent and not giving up, and not being afraid of any kind of nationality: British, American, Canadian. If they speak English, talk to them because they're going to understand you. If they don't, I'm sorry, but never give up. Make your mistakes. That's why my channel has the name The Brazilian English Teacher, because I don't want to forget about my origin, but that's not because I am Brazilian that I'm not able to teach English well. Also, make mistakes. You can make mistakes. I can make mistakes. As I said in one of my videos, I make mistakes in Portuguese every day. I
Yeah,
don't
of course.
don't be afraid to talk, and be consistent that you're going to get there and find your aims and what you want with the English language, that you're going to get there. So that's my humble advice.
Totally agree, Rodrigo. I mean, there are plenty of English teachers who are non-natives who are doing a fantastic job. So I totally agree with that. Yourself, you're one of them, actually. So, okay. So that's the bulk of the questions out the way. Now, the rapid round, I'm going to give you a choice between 2 things and you have to answer as quickly as you can, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. This is an example. So I could say something like cake or biscuits, and you've got to answer straight away, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Me too. I only drink one a day, but me too. We're talking about movies in the next one, or films, as we would say here in England. Horror or comedy?
Comedy.
Comedy. I like the horror movies, you know.
I am afraid of horror. I don't even watch Michael Jackson's Thriller after 11 at night, man.
Wow. The next one, football or boxing?
Football.
Football.
Yeah.
I think I know the answer to this next one. Madonna or Oasis?
Madonna. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I love
That's what I
Oasis
thought.
too.
Yeah, Oasis are brilliant, man. Okay, talking about food, sweet or savory?
As long as I like it, it doesn't matter.
Both, all food. Pigs in blankets.
Yeah, they are awesome, actually.
Yeah, they are, without a doubt, without an absolute doubt.
Yeah.
So that's it, Rodrigo. That brings this little chat to an end. Do you want to close out the video?
Just want to finish, if you allow me to take.
Go for it, man. It's your channel.
And no, but you are the interviewer today. You are the master in chief. So I would like to say that the more I know you, the more I admire you. And I would like to congratulate you for the 3,000 subscribers.
Yeah. We hit that number on the channel this week.
Yeah.
It blows my mind that so many people find my content useful, because when I got the notion that I enjoyed doing it and I wanted to start out, I thought to myself, well, who's going to want to listen to me? Because, you know, I speak, I don't speak with received pronunciation. I speak like people speak here, actually in the streets, you know. So I just thought, you know, who's going to want to listen to some bald guy from Manchester speaking in a really thick accent? But I turned out to be wrong, because plenty of people seem to get value from the content. So as long as people are getting value, I'm going to continue. That's the way it is, you know.
But I just want to say that you have been a true friend for me, and we like the same things more and more, and we talk about the same things, and it's so important to me. And I wish people could know you the way I know now, much more. And as I said about your content, I think the world should know the way you teach, because one of the most beautiful traits that you have in your personality is that you're very humble. It doesn't matter if you have 5 million followers, if you have 5 million people who watch you, you don't change. You are thankful for the people who come into your life, and you are an amazing person. And I'm really glad to have you as a friend, as a brother. I already told you that you're part of the family. And thank you for all the credits that you say about me, the nice things. Thank you for doing this.
Well, things are easy to say when they're true, Rodrigo, you know. I've always said that. Things are easy to say when they're true. And when I eventually make it over to South America, Sao Paulo is definitely on my visit list. So
and
hopefully one day
I'll meet you there and bring you here.
All right. Okay? You don't live in Sao Paulo, no?
No, I live 4 hours away from Sao Paulo, but I'll meet you there and bring you here. Yes.
Right. Okay.
You spend a week or two with me, no problem.
I'm sure in the future that we'll have the opportunity to do that, my friend.
And I hope I can go there so we can meet soon.
Yeah, come. But bring your coat, yeah? You'll need your coat.
I have to make money first. I have to make a lot of money first, and then I'll go. But that's what I think. You are one of my best friends, and I want you to never forget that. And thank you for being the person you are, the great friend you are, for always doing things for the channel with me. And whenever you need me for anything, I'll always be here as well.
Yeah, not a problem. Likewise. Straight back at you, my friend. No problem.
Thank you.
You're welcome, buddy. See you soon, yeah? Bye, people. Bye-bye. Ciao.